slave who had now become a son. And I'm no longer going to call him a slave. I'm going to call him James. So he took James with him. And they traveled very far, to a far distance. Because the man was saying to him, I don't want a place where people will still look at you as a slave. I want you in a new environment where people will now see you different and treat you differently. And he said, Master, are you sure? Are you sure that I'm no longer a slave? The master said, he said, this story is too good to be true. Me owning all your property, having everything, and being treated like a son. The master said, I have given you my word. James, have I ever lied to you? And James said, no. He said, James, have you ever seen me tell people truth? Have you ever seen me unfaithful? And James said, no, master, you've never been unfaithful all the time that I've known you. Then the master said, James, trust me. I am now your father. Call me daddy. Don't call me again master. Call me father. And so they traveled. And they came to this city. And everyone received them. The ruler of that city received them into their home. Because they have seen this man, they have seen his wealth. He saw his camels, he saw his horses, he saw his gold, he saw his silver, he saw everything, he received it. And the man said, I want to now settle in your city and invest. And this is my son. Its name is James. And James started living in the house, living as a son. But James had a problem. You know what James' problem was? He couldn't take away the slavery out of his mind. James continued behaving like a slave. Instead of James to associate with the nobles, to associate with the important people in the city. James, every time James had an opportunity, he would go to the slave quarters and start mingling with the slave. It was not long. James had even told the slave, I'm a slave, oh, see what my master did to me. James started rapporting with them, started eating the food meant for the slaves. Started telling them, but you pray hard. If you pray hard, your own life you can change. When James sees the noble, the important people, he will be shaken. He will be behaving somehow. And so, one day, James even forgot. Do you know that when they went on the journey, James took his clothes as a slave? One day, because James couldn't take slavery out of his mind, he was even talking as a slave. Sometimes the father had to stop him. James, it's okay. Because once he starts talking, the ruler will say, is this your son? Why is your son talking like a slave? And so one day, one early morning, there was going to be a ceremony in the town. James showed up at the ceremony as a slave. And so even the ruler said to the master, why did you deceive me? Why did you bring a slave into my house? And from that moment, the master had no choice. He said, I'm sorry. He's truly my slave. I was trying to make him his son. He said, why did you have to do that? He got so angry. And from that moment, James lost everything and went back to being a slave. Very sad story. But sometimes that's what we do to ourselves when we cannot believe where God has placed us. When you can't believe that you can leave everything. Do you know you are a son in his kingdom? I'm asking someone, do you know you are a son in his kingdom? He says he has given you the spirit of sonship so that you're no longer a slave. You are adopted into his kingdom. Can you rise up and say, Lord, I am a son in the kingdom. I am asking for my resurrection. I am asking as a son. Sons don't beg. Sons ask. Sons don't beg. Sons ask. Sons ask. Sons ask. Sons demand. Sons demand. Sons say it and they have it. Sons ask and they say, Father, I need this, and it is given. Father, this has to be done, and it is done. That's how sons speak. Only sons experience the resurrection. If the resurrection morning says to God, God, I'm experiencing that resurrection. I'm experiencing life. I'm experiencing life. Come on, take it. Take it. Take your life. Take your life in your hands. Take your life in your hands. Take your life in your hands. Come out. Come out of that deadness. Come out of that grave of nothingness. Come out from that grave of death. Come out from that grave of wretchedness. Come out from that grave of ignorance. Come out from that grave of poverty. Come pray.